What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today I got to tell you, we are here to talk about something very, very serious that we all kind of know, that we are all kind of dealing with at the same time, and things that are, going through. We're going through all of this, and it's a lot. It's a lot to go through here. So let's start with the first thing that we already know needs to happen, and we're going to talk about a few things here that have happened within the last couple weeks. The first thing that has happened is that, well, we had a tariff scare. Okay, now let's start by going into what a tariff is. Okay, and a tariff, by definition, is a tax imposed by a government on imports of goods. It's paid to the or excuse me, it's paid by the importer and can also be applied to exports in some cases. Essentially, it's just a giant tax on crossing international borders, either into a country or out of it. So that's the first thing. Now, the next thing that we are going to have that is going to be a big issue about this is that what comes along with tariffs and what countries have been tariffed and what countries and of the nature. Now, I hold no political allegiance. However, I do know that this was not a tactic that was completely pulled out of the rear end. It was basically just a way to say, hey, let's get everybody to sit down and have a meeting. Let's get all of this started. Let's do something that we all can work along with. But the only way that I could really truly get your attention is if I tariffed and taxed the shit out of you. That is something I totally understand. Because right at the current moment, as we speak, the tariffs that were in place over or were about to go in place a week ago are now no longer in place. And there is a much lower tariff on certain goods and products. So that is something that I would like for everybody to stop panicking about. Okay. Things are not as bad as they seem. All right. So the first thing is what were the store's responses to Hasbro? Or not that. Um, let's see. What was the response to what was the whole response to that entire problem that was just, yeah, let's throw this out there, let's do this, let's add all of this, let's tax the shit out of everything. Let's then do something that it should not be a thing. So, I cannot get on board with the fact that everybody was panicking and all the stores were like, yes, we want you to panic. We want you to panic entirely. Panic to your heart's content. Now, what I'm saying is that that was what the stores wanted you to do because this is what Hasbro did. So Hasbro, in their infinite wisdom, decided that they were going to let's see here if we can add this here. Um, let's hold on. But basically, well, maybe I can and can't do this. But the point is that yeah, let's do this here. So is that the point with it is that now what Hasbro has done is they have decided that they are going to not do the tariffs at all. Okay. That's what they decided to do. They decided they were not going to do the tariffs at all. Now, originally what they had tried to do is they had a tariff pre-sale. Now, what is a tariff pre-sale? Well, the tariff pre-sale was pretty much just, hey, come and buy this before we tax the shit out of it. Okay? That's really what it was. And it bugs the crap out of me that that was the case, that a lot of online stores did, because not only did they do this, they also started panic buying. Everyone started panic buying. That's not a good thing. So why did people start panic buying? Because, well, they said they're going to get taxed. Well, nobody sat and waited until what actually was going to happen. So, because what ended up happening is a couple weeks ago, all of these figures here, you could not buy them. Obviously, you can't buy a lot of them now, but you could not buy them because number one, if you went to let's see here, what can we get that's going to go on pre-order here sometime soon? Uh this. Okay. So the Studio Series, Commander Class, Long Haul, and Hook. Okay. Now, what really frustrated me about this was the fact that when this was not sold out, and this was like over a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, we're talking like May 7th, 8th ish, right around there. This was going to be raised up to 129.99. That was what it was allegedly going to be. Now, do I think that that is the real case? No. Now, really quickly, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. These two figures right here, look at this price tag. That is normal price. That is average normal price. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you guys the next bit that is really, really frustrating, which is GameStop. Now, GameStop, they just could not keep their grubby little fingers out, or maybe not even GameStop themselves. Hasbro decided, instead of telling everybody, hey, we're not tariffing these goods, we're just going to basically, we're not going to tariff them, but you can still charge the tariff price just so we can make some more money. It was literally the corporate greed that got to everybody. So then this is what happened next. GameStop had to retaliate and think of a way to continue this. I'm going to show you the prices of what GameStop is currently selling these for. It is ridiculous. The only price tags that have not been affected by this are the Voyagers and the leader classes. And simply because the leader classes are already over $50. However, the deluxe classes are currently $31.99 if you're not a pro member. Now, this also comes into play with the next bit of, did you guys end up falling into this trap that Hasbro, GameStop, and other companies set up? Because I did with this particular two-pack. What ended up happening is that they were all screaming, tariff, tariff, it's gonna happen, this is gonna happen, it's not gonna be a good thing, everything of that nature, right? Well, as soon as that happened, they made money, and then the tariff deal went out the window, and a new one was struck and made. And so what was the original tariff? The original tariff was 145%. Yes, I'm not joking. 145%. Now, that tariff was supposed to be implemented on May 9th, but on May 12th, something different happened. Something different happened. The president and the countries that were getting tariffed, specifically China and Vietnam, because China had a neighboring state clause, which was China plus one, if I had to really say this. But China plus one basically meant that China got tariffed and Vietnam got tariffed, because that was where a good lot of American companies had set up shop. Now they're trying to come back to the United States so they don't have to pay a 30% tariff, which is what it is now. So please take note. That is something that is not a massive issue with this. What is going to be a problem is what people are going to do about what is going to happen next, which is when you should get your figures. Okay. I would honestly not get your figures until, seriously, maybe like right around after they show up in stores. Like, for example, I think it's better for you to go in person than go to do your stuff online. Now, why do I say this? Because, well, I have seen this guy out in public before. This is the Commander class Rodimus Prime. And I have also seen this out in public before. This is the Studio Series 86 Commander class Optimus Prime. This is the Kingdom Rodimus Prime. Rodimus Prime, Optimus Prime. Yeah, whole deal. But those figures are sold out everywhere except for Rodimus Prime, maybe. But my point for showing both of them is that I found both of them in person. Now, does this translate to everybody else's luck? No. but my luck tends to be pretty darn decent. Um, Now, that's the thing of what I'm going to say is maybe you shouldn't order until this whole debacle with Hasbro and all the other online stores can get taken care of. So I wouldn't online order unless it's coming from a very reputable retailer, has not gotten a tariff imposed on them, and they're at the very least a trustworthy site that has been not been a problem for you in the past. So now this comes back to my next thing with GameStop. So GameStop, in their infinite wisdom, originally this date was supposed to be July 24th. Was the street release date for the Hasbro Studios Series 86 Transformers the movie Commander Class Long Haul and Hook. That's what it was originally supposed to be. It was supposed to be July 24th. And instead, they changed it without telling people to August 25th. Now, this is where I do have a small bone to pick with GameStop because GameStop did not inform their employees or the customers. Now, why am I saying this in a very angry and upset tone? Well, that's because I'm one of those customers. This is the second time they've done this, at least to me. And at least the third, actually. Now, this is the third time they've done this, but because their release date is now the same exact as everybody else's, I now have to make a decision of whether or not, by the way, if you already paid for your figure in full before the tariff charge was imposed or anything that was supposed to be imposed with GameStop, you now have to pay an extra $34.99. How do I know this? Because I had to do that myself. GameStop has truly, truly gone below standards. This is why I do not like talking about them. This is why whenever I do talk about them, it's usually in a negative form because they do not inform their employees, they do not inform their customers, and they don't inform their anyone. They don't inform anyone at all. So, that's what frustrated me. So now, really quickly, let's also go take a look see one more time at what Hasbro was supposed to be doing. Okay. Hasbro said if y'all saw those deluxe and the commander class prices, this is where we're going to have problems now is we are going to show what they currently are on Hasbro Pulse. You saw that, right? It was $119.99 on GameStop. It is $89.99 here. However, granted, you cannot buy it here now currently because they sold out to their only elitist of elite. And I'm gonna assume that the 3 stars. Let's check out these reviews really quickly here. Right on. I was able to get a pre-order. That's cool. 4. Hasbro, you can use the dump truck for at least 3 other G1 characters like the Decepticon Auto Roller that was the same color green but maybe mixed with something else and 2 G1 Autobots, the land one which I think was a Target Master and that orange one that was the that I don't think that matters. I'm a collector from Brazil. I'm a collector from Brazil, so the stores where I can purchase this amazing set, or the amazing sets are very limited. Any Brazilian collector could help me by indicating a online store. Thanks. Well, that's different. Price is up without features. This 2-pack is more expensive per each than single per each than single transformer. Hasbro keeps raising prices but is not giving better products. Their competitors are killing it at these price points. I beg to differ. I highly beg to differ. And the reason I highly beg to differ is because GameStop is one of those competitive prices, and so is Target. And Target, those deluxe classes have gone up, and the leader classes have gone up. So here's my thing. And here's the one thing that I think you guys can take from this video, if you guys can take anything from this. It's why it's important not to panic, firstly. And the second thing is that you definitely need to not worry about what things are going to happen. So don't panic. Don't panic about what's going to happen, and definitely don't worry because prices will get back to the same. And or if it's I could honestly handle a 30% tariff increase, then I could handle a 145% tariff increase. If it was that 145 tariff increase, I think I would probably be bankrupt by the end of the year. So yeah, but or I would just stop collecting Transformers altogether and just sell everything I've got and make a buttload of money. You never know. But I digress. I digress. Now, my good buddy Riveted Rail fan, otherwise known as Luke, he says that price is more important to people, not to mention also locality is a massive important to people. When I asked him, I said, what are the big topics or what are the big things that you think of that you can think of that would be an issue? Because I myself, as the interviewer, have to remove myself from the bias of that situation, or at least of that interview. And he said people want more local stuff, and if the price stays the same, that pretty much means that it would be a better deal for you to go in person than it would be to buy online. So what I'm saying is, or at least what he's saying, is that it would be better for you to go in person than to go online. And honestly, with the price increases that I'm seeing here, I'm definitely on board with that, especially with these GameStop prices, because that just blows my mind with that. Like seriously, they can't like why on earth would you charge over $120 for a 2-pack? Right there. Now take note, this does not go for Amazon because I definitely don't I try to exclude Amazon from that because Amazon is their own conglomerate, their own thing. They do their own deals and everything of that nature. So anyways, this is Thomas Fana One saying, do not panic for now, and please do not forget to check out the main channel, and please do not forget to check out all the playlists that are down below. Don't forget to hit that like button somewhere along here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button also somewhere along here, and don't forget to comment about what topics you think we should cover next, because I definitely did appreciate this topic because it's probably a lot of information that a lot of people did not know or did not get the message or memo of. So I hope this was more informative than anything of that nature. And if there's anything you can take out of this, please do not take anything of the nature that I am a political whatever. I don't care for politics. I really don't. It divides my family every Sunday dinner. I don't care about it. I just care about being able to purchase the figures that I love. And I also care about the community that likes to also purchase this stuff as well. So, anyways, this is Thomas Fana One saying, do not forget to subscribe for more content. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Don't forget to check out Jordy's Rail videos, Patrick with a Y, iStar552, Ribby Dude, Rip the. Now my tongue is going to stop working as I've already said his name a few times. Riveted Rail Fan, Riveted Reviews, Alexander Rothschild, Kitten Cat 999, Skibbity Jacket, and let's throw it out there, Lemon Lime Studios, and also Zaga the Animator. Why not? So they've all been some fans and friends of the channel, so please give them some love as well. So anyways, this is Thomas Fan One saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys.